gonna run the E6 here for a little bit. That beautiful freaking engine. I love my Broadway Limited. Broadway Limited, lovely detail, by the way, guys. I made a review on it months, maybe about a year ago, almost about now, but let's see, take off the freight consist and kind of just trickle it in with the other. As you guys can see, new addition, the N scale in the middle. The N scale is also DCC as well, but right now I have it running on DC because it's running the Kato Burlington Northern. It's not pulling the whole set because obviously, as you guys know, I have additional N scale cars, so it's just pulling a mixed consist. Let me just pull this back so you guys can see a little bit. See, it's pulling a various mixed consist of cars, pulling a scenic excursion, so to speak, right? Now, when the Kato Burlington Northern is running with the full set, with all the passenger cars, it looks absolutely freaking amazing. And it still looks amazing even with the mixed consist. So, and it does run decently fast. Even like the littlest boost of power on the Bachmann DC controller, like the fine tuning. Oof. All right, let me move these out of the way. I didn't realize, but that is magnetic. All right, let me power this baby up. Oh, let me get the passenger cars on the layout first. Before I do that, I think I need to oil the wheels on the passenger cars because they are a little squeaky, but I'm not going to do that now because, quite honestly, don't feel like doing it. Observation car. And then I'm going to do the Alagoma Central baggage car that my friend Ben gave me. So shout out to Ben. Ben, I don't know if you're tuned in or if you're watching this, but if you are, shout out to my brother, my work brother right there. Hooked me up with some beautiful cars. And then I'm just going to tuck the switcher in here. Actually, what I could do is I could just have the switcher push the passenger cars to my steamer. So that's fine. All right, let's turn on the steamer once the oh yeah, and I don't know if you could tell, but my the smoke generator in my steam locomotive is stuck on. Not sure how to fix that, but all right. Passenger cars are on the way. Let's turn on the steam locomotive. Press 7. Oh, 7. Smart. Didn't think about that. All right, let's move the steam engine forward a little bit, just so. Okay, let's back up that steam engine. Almost hooked in there. Got to give it a little bit of assistance. Boom. We're hooked in. I'm gonna go disconnect the I'm gonna go disconnect the switcher, put it back in the. Okay. Switcher is uncoupled and headed back into the siding, while I am going to back the steam locomotive up into the passenger station. Uh-oh. Boom. Had a little bit of a derailment, but we were back in business. Let me make sure the switch is switched for the switcher. The switch is switched for the switcher. Wow. A little Burlington Northern action in the background. I love this. The end scale looks so nice. Slow down the Burlington Northern a little bit. Oh. I was not paying attention and almost smashed the switcher into the buffers, but we are good. All right, let's move out. Oh, dang it, I forgot to throw the switch back. What the heck? Oh, I see the problem. One of the trucks for the baggage car is off the rails. Hold on. Derailment. Derailment. There we go. I'm actually going to move you guys, I think, to a different view or viewpoint. Oh, yeah, look. Another baggage car, N scale for that. Except I got the Burlington Northern one running right now. So let me just let me toss that aside real quick. Whoops. You get a view of both, I think, the N scale, right? Yep. A little close-up view. So let's see how this turns out. Here we go. That baggage car really doesn't like this switch over here. I'm not entirely sure why. Seems to be running fine now. But I'm gonna pull the baggage car off because it's just giving me too many problems. I'm not sure what it is, but we're going pure Pensy now. Oh. Let me shut the lights off so I don't burn them out. There's so much stuff on this table. Holy crap. I'm just moving you guys to a different view. I don't have my tripod with me, so bear with me, please. Oh, that works. I like that view. Oh! Dang it. We were so close. It lasted for just long enough. There we go. We're gonna switch. Couple tracking for you guys. For those of you who haven't seen, this is my HO layout. Very simple, very sweet. Bachmann track. I will probably end up extending it to the very end of the table at some point. But for right now, this is what it is. And then temporarily, I have the N scale in the middle until I come up with a more mobile version of my N scale layout. Probably on, very thin wood or something like that. So I could take it to train shows and stuff like that. And various other places. So, but this is what it is. I use a Bachmann Easy Command Plus. Again, try to go for the most simplest route possible while still being able to run trains and have a decent amount of scenery. So this is what I call the museum layout, so to speak. So a simple loop. Before I adjusted things, I put down, temporary roads just to give me an idea of where things could be. These are only glued down with Elmer's glue, and as you can see, I can take it up pretty easily. But this is the final track layout. And then what I'm going to do now is do scenery, roads, stuff like that. This grass matting is from Michaels. It's good because it adds a little bit of detail and also dampens the sound a decent amount. So that's really nice because I have people who live right under this room. So super, super nice in terms of dampening the sound. And then for the N scale layout, like I said before, I'm gonna turn that into a mobile layout. So I'm gonna keep it about this size. And again, it's gonna be similar to the HO layout. It's gonna be like a museum layout where it's gonna have like a brief like suburban area, and then it's gonna have like a small little downtown area. I have like a Aces Hardware over there, so it's gonna be a brief downtown area, and then it's gonna be a main road into the parking lot with like a station, and inside the station will be the museum, so to speak. And then obviously you can then take a ride around the museum grounds, and then just like this, like I'll have it various pieces of rolling stock and locomotives on display, like the old 1990s Reading Bachmann Spectrum that I have right there, the 060 Southern Pacific that runs okay. This is a broken Southern diesel. I forgot the exact type of diesel that is. So yeah, stuff like that. And also, what's cool about that is that in the middle, most of the locomotives, some of them might be working them, some of them might be broken. Like for example, these two DC, they work, but I have them in the middle as like museum pieces, just because I'm out of room in terms of storage. So yeah, I can use the museum kind of layout thing as a kind of like an excuse to store most of my stuff that I use on a daily basis in the middle. But I also like the museum look. I've always been very fond of train museums and railroad museums. And growing up, that's something that I've always gone to as a kid. And I still do now as an adult. It's something that I enjoy doing on my off time. I love learning about the history of the railroad and locomotives. So being it that I had, this inspiration to do it, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pull the plug, and I did. Now I'm gonna set you guys up right here. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll move. Can I move this over there? Aha! And I'll move this out of the way so you guys can get a look at the. Boom. Alright, I got the E6 up to about track speed. About the fastest I usually run her on my layout.
Is everybody inside the derails and in the clear? Yeah, I'll get the derails for you guys. I don't know if he'll be able to come out or not, but that's all I got today. Okay. I'll give you all after he gets by then. Thanks. Look out your window. The black SUV. Up on that left rear. Yeah, black. Wait. I don't know if he'll be able to come out or not, but that's all I got today. Okay. I'll give you all after he gets by then. Thanks. Look out your window. The black SUV. Up on that left. Yeah, the black one. Getting away from it.
Ugh. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that quick little stream. I'm going to head out and do my errands. I'll see you guys on the flip.